Good afternoon. My name is Raquel Fox, and today I'm exploring a lesser-known but important Revolutionary War site, Fort Stanwix National Monument. While many people focus on famous locations like Yorktown, Fort Stanwix shows how smaller, often overlooked places played a major role in shaping the outcome of the American Revolution, and how public history shapes the way we remember the past. Fort Stanwix was a key site during the Saratoga Campaign. British forces under Barry St. Leger attempted to capture the fort as part of a plan to divide the colonies. However, American troops successfully resisted during the siege of Fort Stanwix. Primary sources reveal how both sides experienced this moment. American commander Peter Gansevoort declared, "I am determined to defend this fort to the last extremity." From the British perspective, St. Leger described the defenders as showing obstinacy beyond expectation. These contrasting accounts show that the outcome of the siege was uncertain and fiercely contested. As historians note, this resistance helped shape the success of the Saratoga Campaign. Maps from 1777 also show how geography shaped the conflict. Fort Stanwix disrupted British movement along key routes, demonstrating that location and terrain were just as important as military strength. One important aspect of Fort Stanwix is the structure we see today is a reconstruction. The original fort deteriorated after the Revolution and was rebuilt in the 1970s by the National Park Service. This raises an important question. What does it mean to preserve history when the original site no longer exists? The reconstruction helps visitors visualize the past, but it also reflects modern decisions about how history is presented. Fort Stanwix is also significant because of the Treaty of Fort Stanwix. This treaty highlights tensions over land between British officials and Native American nations before and during the Revolutionary era. Historian Peter Marshall notes that the treaty has been criticized as one of the worst treaties in the history of Anglo-Indian relationships, suggesting that Native American land was unfairly taken. At the same time, Marshall also emphasizes that the situation was complex, involving competing interests and land speculation. This debate demonstrates how historians interpret the same event differently, which is central to historiography. Historians also differ in how they interpret Fort Stanwix's role in the larger war. John Ferling argues that the American victory at Saratoga depended on a series of smaller engagements rather than a single decisive battle. From this perspective, Fort Stanwix becomes part of a chain of events that made American success possible. Additionally, scholarship emphasizes that sites like Fort Stanwix reflect broader patterns of conflict, diplomacy, and regional dynamics in the Revolutionary era. Other historians highlight frontier perspectives, including the role of Native Americans, such as the Iroquois Confederacy. Together, these interpretations show how historical understanding evolves over time. Fort Stanwix offers strong value as a teaching tool. By using primary sources like letters, maps, treaties, students can engage directly with the past and understand that history is constructed from multiple perspectives. Students can ask critical questions such as whose voices are included, what is missing, and how do historians interpret evidence differently. A field trip or even a virtual visit would help make these ideas much more meaningful. In conclusion, Fort Stanwix reminds us that history is not about major battles, but about interpretation, memory, and perspective. By examining both primary and historical debates, we gain a deeper understanding of the American Revolution and how history itself is constructed.